What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee and Toys here. It is Friday. That means it is new comic book review day here on the channel. And today we will be reviewing Scarlett from Image Comics, Skybound Entertainment, Scarlett issue number 2. So let's jump into it. But before we jump into all that, let's talk about the coffee you're drinking, because the coffee I'm drinking, once again, is provided by coffeebrandcoffee.com. That's right, no frills, no gimmicks. Just go visit coffeebrandcoffee.com if you want some delicious coffee from an American business. Save yourself 5% by using the link down in the description down below, or use the promo code Coffee&Toys. That's COFFEENTOYS. Save yourself 5% on each and every purchase. Today I am drinking their medium roast. I picked up a few more K-Cups. Again, I use those because I'm lazy most days and don't feel like filling up my own reusable K-Cup. So today it's simply the medium roast number 3. Again, no gimmicks. Numbered 1 through 4. Pick the number you want. Grab that. They also have flavored coffees. They have the K-Cups, as I mentioned. They have cool gear. Check out Coffee Brand Coffee today. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. And we are going to talk about Scarlett issue number 2. Yes, so technically this issue came out last week. I was on vacation, so it was held at my local comic book shop. Special shout out to Hero Headquarters here in Westminster, Colorado. But yes, I went there and picked up my copies yesterday. So before we get into it, normally I do this at the end of the video review. And yes, there will be spoilers for issue 2 today. So if you're not interested, you should probably check out one of my other videos. But I'm going to show off the variant covers, because now that I have my own pull list of comics, I get more of the incentive covers. So this is my reading copy that we'll be reviewing today. Very cool cover. I do like having Scarlett and Storm Shadow on the cover. Very awesome cover. Alternate cover, I don't know if this is A or B, but this is the alternate cover with this cool green hue Scarlett with a sword. I think this one's really cool. So I chose not to read that one because I wanted to keep it in pristine condition. And then we have what is the variant 1 in 10 cover right here. Of course, we have Scarlett in the foreground with her, actually I was going to say that was her crossbow, but I'm not 100%. Yes, it is her crossbow and a katana. And then we have a picture of Storm Shadow unmasked in the background. This is a very cool cover. Again, the 1 in 10 variant. And then finally, the 1 in 25 variant of Scarlett issue 2, which is the classic sunburst, fireburst in the background with Storm Shadow on the cover. This is very cool. Again, this is the 1 in 25 incentive cover. So with that being said, let's jump in to today's review and talk about Scarlett issue 2 from Image Comics Skybound Entertainment. So Scarlett number 2 came out in July of 2024, is written by Kelly Thompson, artist Marco Ferrari, colorist Lee Luffridge, letterer Russ Wooten, and editor Ben Abernathy. So, issue starts off with Scarlett. She has been captured. We saw at the end of the last issue that Storm Shadow actually knocked her out as she had infiltrated the Arashikage stronghold in Japan. As she's reviewing her surroundings, she's tied up. She notes that the clan managed to take the lockpick that was in her mouth, but she had a backup plan of having a razor blade stitched into her abdomen. And she then proceeds to dig it out with her fingernail, and it is a very nasty. I mean, I cringed as I remember they showed it at the end of the last issue, I believe. But man, I cringed again seeing her digging that out. And then she uses it, and she kind of MacGyvers her way through cutting these wrist restraints, and then the one around her neck. She cuts them all off, and then as she's reviewing the room, she sees in the corner another message, one of those picture messages that her and Jinx used to created long ago, and it's in the corner, and it translates as "Go Hard." So she's like, all right. She gets one of the Arashikage ninja guards' attention and proceeds to begin battling them all. And it's just a fight fest moving forward from here. She is beating them up, taking them out, hand to hand, kicking her chair, knocking some of them down. When one of them grabs a pistol and opens fire on her, she manages to avoid being shot, and one of the leaders of this group, basically starts scolding his pupil, like, why are you using a gun? Why did you do that? And unbeknownst at the time is that they actually damage a glass case that has various edged weapons in it. But before they realize what is happening, Scarlett has killed multiple Arashikage ninja clansmen with these bladed weapons, whether it's shurikens to the head or her using a katana and mowing them down. And she continues to battle her way through here until Storm Shadow appears and simply looks at her and says, "Charming," as there's blood all over the glass wall, and Scarlett stops fighting. Storm Shadow says, "Come with me," and they begin walking through the stronghold. And as they're walking an over bridge, something to that effect, over a dojo, she notices Jinx. And she temporarily goes back in time, and she because she sees Jinx telling one of these ninja pupils, "If you drop your shoulder again, you won't have it next time," which reminds Scarlett of training they did in the past where she said a similar line to her in the past. She snaps back to the present, and Storm Shadow takes her off into a private room where they sit down and they begin having tea. And with that, Storm Shadow starts saying, you've made an impression here, obviously, but we really don't know why you're here, and that's what we need to find out. No one just breaks into the Arashikage clan. And Scarlett basically goes on saying, "I used to work for the U.S. government, but I realized as I was working for them, they weren't being truthful with me. They aren't being loyal to me. I feel like I have a lot of talents that you've obviously seen, but working with the U.S. government was not honorable, and I felt like coming here, trying to join the Arashikage would be something that your clan could use my talents, and I'd feel like I was serving an honorable purpose." So that's the line she gives Storm Shadow, and evidently he buys into it because the Hardmaster enters, and basically they both bow to him, and he says, "Okay, you want to be here, you obviously have talents, as Storm Shadow's mentioned, but we have to really test your loyalty. And to test your loyalty, we are going to have you go after our ancient weapon, something that is held very dear to the Arashikage clan." You might remember them talking about that, Stalker talking about that to Scarlett in the first issue, and why she is there is to find this ancient weapon of so much power. We don't know anything about it. So as he's telling her, basically what her mission parameters are going to be, is that a group known as the Muganami have aligned themselves with an outside force, and they have this weapon. And it is kept in a place known as these three buildings called the Sato Trio. These three buildings in, I don't know if it's in Tokyo, I'm assuming it's in Tokyo. And that building 1 is fine, but the buildings 2 and 3 are under Yakuza control, and they believe it's in one of these two buildings. And Scarlett, to prove her loyalty to the clan, is going to infiltrate, secure the weapon, bring it back to the Arashikage stronghold. So Scarlett's like, "Okay, let's do this." And we move forward, and Scarlett is in a helicopter. She parachutes out of the helicopter, and she's got some really cool gear on. She's got a new outfit, a lot of white, a little bit of light blue, I believe, in it. And she parachutes onto the top of the building, breaks into the building, and this is her breaking into building number 2, known as Tiger. Tiger is the building that has whatever defense for the other building, building 3 and building 2. Building 3 is where supposedly the weapon's at. So she breaks into building 2, and she alerts. You can see on the captions that she's triggered some sort of alarm because there's chatter going on saying, "No eyes on the target, but someone has entered the building." And as she stands on the top of the building, looking down, basically from the top down to the floor, she's basically saying, "This is a suicide mission. Arashikage clan, the Hardmaster, Storm Shadow are basically, I'm useful enough that I might actually get this done, but I'm also expendable enough that they don't care if I die and fail." And so with that, she basically is kind of going through her own thought process on whether it's worth it, and she determines that for Jinx, it is worth it, and that's the only way she's going to be able to essentially rescue Jinx, I believe, is to capture this weapon and use it as some sort of bartering tool. And with that, the issue ends with a large single frame of Scarlett jumping down from the top of the building, heading towards the ground floor, while the radio chatters basically going off saying, you know, red alert, send everybody, the infiltrator has been spotted. And that's where the issue ends. This is definitely a good issue. It doesn't feel like sometimes you get a really bang first issue, and then the second issue is kind of telling you a story to get you to the next issue. This one's more of an action-packed issue, and I really like that. It's really fun. I will say I had to suspend my disbelief for a few moments because, you know, seeing her digging into her side and pulling out this razor blade, the first thought I have is, well, you just got the crap beat out of you, even though you did a lot of, you know, butt kicking yourself in the first issue. You still got beat up quite a bit. I'm surprised that this razor just sat inside your abdomen with no damage to your body whatsoever. I'm sure she got hit in the gut once or twice, unless she's got like just Matrix level skills. And then she's using it to cut these straps, which look like plastic straps. And I don't know about you guys, but I've used plastic straps quite a number of times, and you're not going to easily cut through those with even the sharpest of a single razor blade. It'll take you a long time if you do, and she did it presumably with the greatest of ease. And I don't know how, if your arm's tied down, how you can get a single, if you're, you know, obviously if you use straight razor blades to shave, they're not that long, so I don't know how you can bend your wrist and cut one if you're tied down. But again, you have to kind of suspend disbelief for a few panels. But I did enjoy the fight scenes. I thought it was really cool to have a young ninja grab a gun, shoot at her, and then get scolded by a higher ninja of rank at the Arashikage clan. Unfortunately, that led to them all being killed by Scarlett. And man, the Arashikage, I will say, if they're training ninjas, man, I don't know who's training them, but it must not be Storm Shadow, because she plowed through like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 easily before Storm Shadow showed up. But again, learning this next mission, her new outfit looks really cool. I did enjoy that as well. But yeah, it was a fun issue, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Can't wait for the third issue next month. I've really been enjoying these limited series. But let me know what your thoughts are. Have you picked up issue number 2? Did you pick it up? What covers did you get? Did you enjoy the issue? Drop me a comment down below. Make sure you like this video. If you made it this far, it really helps out the channel, and I enjoy reading your comments about these comics. I'll get it right eventually. With that being said, thank you so much. My name's Mark. You've been watching Coffee with Toys, and I'll see you later. Let's go.